The rain lashed against the penthouse window, mirroring the storm that had ripped my world apart 5 years ago. That night, the city lights below had been a blur of celebration. My engagement party. Elena Sinclair, heiress to a fortune that could buy small countries, had said yes to me. We grew up in the same grimy neighborhood, climbed out together. Or so I thought. I'd built my security firm from scratch, sweat equity and knuckles bloodied in back alleys. She loved that, she said. Loved my grit. The penthouse, the champagne flowing like water, the tailored suit I wasn't used to, it was all for her. For us. Then I saw them. On the balcony, silhouetted against the glittering skyline. Elena, in that devastating red dress. And my brother, Marcus. His hand wasn't on her arm. It was low on her back, possessive. Her head tilted towards him, laughter dying on her lips as their faces inched closer. Not a friendly peck. A kiss that spoke of secrets, of time stolen, of a betrayal so deep it turned the expensive champagne in my gut to acid. The engagement ring, heavy in my pocket, became a burning coal. I confronted them. Marcus's smirk was a knife twist. She realized where the real power is, little brother, he drawled, arms snaking around Elena's waist. Her eyes, wide with shock, then, pity? Shame. Not enough to pull away. Daniel, it's complicated, she'd stammered. Complicated. The word echoed as my world imploded. Marcus, the silver-tongued hedge fund shark, had slithered in, whispering promises of a life I couldn't give. Not fast enough, not flashy enough. He didn't just steal my fiancée, he orchestrated my ruin. Whispers became lawsuits. Key clients bled away, drawn by Marcus's poisonous insinuations about my stability. My reputation, hard-earned, crumbled like sand. Within a year, the firm was ashes. The penthouse, repossessed. I crashed hard. Slept on couches, took jobs guarding warehouses in the dead of night, the stench of failure clinging like cheap cologne. The humiliation wasn't just losing Elena, it was losing to him. Knowing they were together, splashed across society pages, Marcus Sinclair and his beautiful wife, the power couple. Living the life I'd fought for. My life. The anger was the only thing that kept me warm. It fueled the brutal hours, the relentless clawing back. I started again. Not security this time. Something grittier, more vital. Crisis management. Protecting people from people like Marcus. I worked in the shadows, building a different kind of empire, one built on loyalty, discretion, and a ferocious understanding of how vipers like my brother operate. The call came this morning. Cold. Professional. Mr. Thorne. Sinclair Holdings requests your presence. 3 p.m. Mr. Marcus Sinclair specifically asked for you. The name hit like a physical blow, 5 years of compressed rage flaring white-hot. Marcus. Asking for me. My reflection in the polished elevator doors wasn't the broken man he'd left behind. The suit was bespoke now, sharp lines mirroring the hardness in my eyes. The scars were still there, etched deep, but they were armor now. The doors slid open onto a lobby screaming of obscene wealth, marble, glass, art that cost more than my first building. Marcus's fortress. His assistant, a sleek predator in a designer sheath, led me to a conference room overlooking the storm-lashed city. The view was eerily similar to the balcony where I'd seen them. And there they were. Marcus, leaning back in a throne-like chair, radiating entitled ease. Older, a touch softer around the jawline, but the same arrogant tilt to his head. And Elena. Time had been kind, sculpting her beauty into something colder, more polished. Diamonds glittered at her ears, a stark contrast to the nervous flutter of her fingers on the table. Her eyes, that devastating green, snapped to me as I entered. Shock. Then a flicker of something unreadable. Guilt. Fear. Interest. Marcus's smile was a razor cut. Daniel. Look at you. Quite the transformation. He didn't offer a hand. Neither did I. My gaze swept the room, assessing, before settling on him. Marcus. To what do I owe the pleasure? My voice was calm, ice over volcanic rock. He gestured dismissively. We have a situation. Delicate. Requires discretion and specialized skills. Your name came up. Surprisingly. He leaned forward, steepling his fingers. "Seems you've made quite a niche for yourself cleaning up messes." He detailed the crisis, a scandal threatening to sink one of his high-profile investments. Nasty. The kind of rot that festered in the dark corners of empires built on sand. My expertise was undeniable. He needed me. Desperately. The irony was thicker than the tension in the room. Elena hadn't spoken. She watched me, a silent ghost of the woman I'd loved. Was she remembering the Daniel who built things? Or comparing him to the shark she'd married? Marcus named a figure. Obscene. A king's ransom. "Fix this," he commanded, the old arrogance resurfacing. "Consider it restitution." Restitution. As if money could erase the years in the gutter, the betrayal carved into my bones. I let the silence stretch, heavy and charged. I looked at Elena. Really looked. Past the diamonds, the perfect makeup. Saw the tension around her eyes, the slight tremor she couldn't hide. Was this the life she'd traded everything for? A gilded cage built on lies and her husband's desperation? A slow, cold smile touched my lips, not reaching my eyes. I picked up the sleek contract his assistant slid towards me. Glanced at it. Then, deliberately, slowly, I tore it in half. The sound was shockingly loud in the hushed room. Marcus jerked upright, face flushing crimson. "What the hell?" "I don't work for vipers, Marcus," I said, my voice low, cutting through his sputter. "And I certainly don't work for you." I dropped the torn pieces onto the polished table. They landed like dead leaves. My gaze shifted back to Elena. Held hers. Let her see the man I'd become. Not broken. Not bitter. Ruthless. "Your mess," I said, my voice dripping with cold finality. "You drown in it." I turned. Walked towards the door. Not hurried. Not fleeing. Walking away from their crumbling empire, their poisoned wealth, the ghosts of my past. The silence behind me was absolute, broken only by the furious pounding of Marcus's fist on the table and the frantic beat of the rain against the glass. I didn't look back. The elevator doors closed, sealing me in quiet solitude. The city stretched below, vast and indifferent. I hadn't come for revenge. I'd come to show them the ruin they'd created hadn't killed me. It had forged me. And their world of gilded lies? It was already burning. I could smell the smoke. Let Marcus try to put it out. My war wasn't fought in their boardrooms anymore. It was fought in the shadows they feared. And today was just the first shot. The anger was still there, a familiar fire. But it wasn't consuming. It was focused, sharp, ready. The storm outside mirrored the one I'd weathered. And I was the lightning.